So welcome back to the 80s. In the break, a few things have changed. Number one, Nate's costume has entirely changed. But
It's my cozy costume now.
I appreciate it. And secondly, we did say this was a one-shot, but as time has sort of slipped away from us, there may be more of these. So let's see where we end up today. I don't think anything will be resolved, but that is fine, because now that gives you all the more reason to like, comment, and subscribe, saying that you want more of these things. But let's jump straight back into it. Where we left, Finn was riding home. I think what we'll do, we'll bring the day to a close, unless there was any want to do. I think it's fair to bring the day to the close. The day rises on Saturday, and what we'll do, we're going to start with Susie.
Okay.
Like, you wake up in the morning to sort of not raised voices, definitely sort of heated voices coming from sort of like your living room. And as if you peek your head downstairs, you see your mum is in a conversation. Your dad seems to be in the kitchen. He seems to be in another room. But your mum seems to be in a conversation with a man you recognise, Thomas Sadayeshi, the head of security for DART. And next to him, standing there, like, is a robot that you know as Max, wearing a suit. Basically, this is robot wearing a suit, sort of standing there, sort of prim and proper. Toma is sitting on the sofa. Bald gentleman, bit of a sort of a goatee going on, but he's always wearing sort of sunglasses and everything. And he's sitting there talking with your mum, nodding away as sort of like Max keeps an eye on things, and you can just overhear snippets of conversation as like, how bad? You know, at least one. That is unfortunate. And then suddenly you sort of see the robot Max turn around to look at you. It's glowing eyes sort of observing you a second.
I just go at the robot.
The robot sort of cocks its head in a very sort of unnatural motion for machines. It seems to, its motion seem more human than most, but it looks to you and sort of shakes its head, and then sort of runs around and taps Toma on the shoulder. And you see Toma sort of like look round, sort of like see you poking there, like, come on down, it's okay.
Oh.
And he sort of leans towards, like, how are you this morning? As your mum seems angry. Her jaw is really clenched, but she sort of isn't really sort of showing any emotion in front of you at the moment. But Thomas sort of like, again with his glasses, it's like, are you well?
I'm all right, thank you.
Good. And the storm last night didn't scare you. And how old are you again?
I'm 13.
Yeah, it's probably a little too old to be afraid by storms, aren't you?
I suppose so.
Anything strange last night?
No, am I in trouble?
No, of course not. Of course. And he looks at your mother. I just had some just a question. I was for your mother about some work stuff. But as you're here, you're friends with that McCarthy girl, aren't you?
Can you? Oh, that's Laurie he's talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Laurie? Yes, she's in the AV club.
Yes, you're in that little club together, aren't you? Yeah. He sort of looks to Max, who's watching you. The robot is like watching you intently. Their eyes kind of move slightly, but it seems like fixed on you at the moment. And when did you last see Laurie?
Yesterday, after school. But we had to all go home because of the storm.
Right. And did you leave with her? Or did she leave by herself?
I think I left before she did.
So she went home by herself then?
I think so. Hi, what's happened? Is she all right?
As far as I'm aware, yes, of course. And he looks to Max, and Max sort of just nods its head. And it's like, he then looks to your mother and is like, thank you for the tea. She's like, you're very welcome. She says to, like, kind of through clenched. And he's like, remember what the things you've signed and the things you've... Okay, and as long as we do that, it'll be okay. And he gives you a bow. He, like, ruffles past. He's like, come along, Max, we have things to do. And the robot's like, good evening, good morning to you all. And sort of follows them out. And again, it's movement like the others. It's But you see sort of Toma leave with Matt. Your mum sits.
You look worried, Mum.
The test last night didn't quite go to plan. But all is fine. Don't worry about it. Like, what's your plan? What's your plan for today?
I'm going into the AV club this morning. Why was he asking about Laurie?
Who knows the things that Toma does? He's head of security.
Laurie's not a threat to Dart security, is she?
No, not at all. But obviously, all the recent things. You see, your mother is struggling for like a reason. Like she can't seem to actually find one. Like company business, I imagine, darling. You know the deal. Don't ask too many questions.
Okay. Right. So Laurie's fine?
As far as I'm aware.
Okay.
And you can see your mum is kind of lost. It's kind of an unusual thing, but she seems lost.
Yeah. I guess I'm just sort of trying to figure out what I can say, or to sort of get her to tell me more, or what she's struggling with.
Give me an empathize.
Oh, okay. So the empathize is 5.
Yes.
5d6 for me. Roll it.
I'm on the wrong.
Oh, I got it. I got a 6. Hooray!
Nice. So you can ask one question to be answered.
Okay.
What is that question that you would like answered?
Well,
actually, sorry, on a success, it's 2 questions. You can ask 2 questions. 2 questions.
Oh boy. I think one of the things is Laurie okay? I definitely want. I sort of say, come on, Mum, please be honest with me. I'm 13. Is Laurie okay?
Your mother again says exactly the same line. As far as she's aware, she's okay. With your empathize sort of score, you know that she doesn't know how to answer that question. She doesn't know what the answer is, so she can't answer you, and that is killing her inside.
Did I need to be more specific? Did I?
No. She's basically.
Missing, or I don't know if I'd know that.
No, she's basically she's giving you the same line, but you know from the empathize. So this is more sort of you watching her and the things sort of saying, like trying to get it out of her. You're just aware that she's not being honest with you, but she's holding
something back.
She's holding something back, but you also don't know that she doesn't know really what that is.
I'm gonna ask. I think I'm probably gonna ask. Did anything weird happen during the storm at the facility?
She looks at you again with that thing. Is like, you know, sweetie, I can't tell you anything. But you again with the empathy. When she says that, you know that something has troubled. Something has happened. Something may have gone. She did say it was difficult, but you know that something has happened that has troubled her greatly. She's tired. Obviously, she was up all night doing this, but there is a sign that there may have been crying. She may have been crying about something. But there's also this look of... You're not quite sure how to explain this look she's giving you, but something has unsettled. Okay. And you've never seen your mum... Your mum's always been certain and sure. It's the first time you've seen her unsure of her path.
Okay, so something has upset Mum that she doesn't really know, cannot, or doesn't really know how to explain to me.
And you do know she's a little bit upset because there's this slight smell of cigarette smoke. So you know that, you know, something that she hasn't done in a while, she's definitely been smoking.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna kind of make my excuses and head out to AB Club at that point, I think.
Yeah, and you as you sort of like leaving, your dad comes, don't worry about it, I'll have a chat with her. And you can kind of see she's sort of like, her hands sort of shaking slightly as she sort of comes up, sort of like thinking, like, you just go and enjoy your day, sweetie. Don't worry about things here, I'll look after. Just obviously a rough night. The experiment evidently didn't go well, I don't understand it, but... And he gives you some allowance money, it's like, off you go.
Fab. Okay, I go off.
Wayne! Yes. There is a boom, 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 boom on your front door.
Wayne is going to ignore it because he knows the robots will get it for him.
Yeah, you hear the conversation like, Master Wayne, The police are here to see you.
Ooh.
Wayne kind of goes and almost thinks about going through the back of the window, but then decides to go downstairs. He sort of quickly slips on like some everyday clothes out of his little pajamas, and because he still wears pajamas, and he sort of kind of slopes downstairs. I think he's feeling quite, sort of nervous because obviously of a numerous amount of things that probably the police are asking him about, but he's gonna just act like he doesn't really know what's going on. So he's just gonna sort of just sort of stroll down the stairs.
As you stroll down, you sort of see standing in your lounge is Chief Patrick Stark, who's the head of the police department. Next to him is a robot in a police uniform, a notepad, taking things down. And you can see Pat is very unsettled to be around, sort of like you're having robots. You're all like, would you like a drink, sir? Would you like this? Or who'll be down in a second? And he sort of looks at you as like, can you get rid of them, please, son?
Yeah, go away. He doesn't want anything. Bringing out the big guns. How can I help? And he just sort of kind of tries to sort of look cool. He's like, how can I help?
He sort of gives you a look of like, relax. Ignore my own robot. This is Unit 102. Record keeper. It says, yes, this is record keeper. Just ignore it. I tend to. He sort of sits down on the sofa and he gestures you to sit opposite him. And he's like, you've been seen with the McCarthy kid, Laurie, correct? Lorraine?
Yeah. Just sort of like, yeah. What has she done?
It's not much of what she's done. It's what sort of happened. Are you guys close? You friends?
Yeah. We hang out. Yeah.
Did you hang out last night with her?
Maybe. Yeah.
He sort of like starts to check with a maybe as like, I need you to be sure with things here. Like, if you give me half truths, this might not look good on you.
Kind of thinking like, does he want to be a snitch? It's just like he doesn't know what Laurie's done, but he's just like, yeah, I guess, yeah. We were hanging out, yeah.
And when did you last see her?
Probably like after school. I mean, I was totally at school. Like I was at school, like so after school.
He looks the record keeper who just like at that point pulls up the pad like. Okay. And everything seemed okay. She didn't seem like she was planning on running away or anything. Did she speak ill about her parents? I know there's been.
Well,
last Sunday was a bit interesting for all of us.
Yeah, because like, I mean, she was meant to be grounded, and obviously, like, she didn't really want to go back. So I know that there's like stuff going on, but okay. I can't say anymore.
That's fine. So she wasn't at home, so that's something.
No.
And again, you can't tell me when you last saw her or where you last saw her.
Hence why, like, I need a little bit more context here.
Okay. Yeah, he sort of leans forward like, if she was to run away from home, do you know where she would?
He's sort of thinking whether or not he would want to sort of, like, snitch on Laurie or not. Because if she doesn't want to be back at her family's house, he can pretty much agree with that. So he's going to go like, I wouldn't know.
Okay. He looks at the record keeper who is then like furiously like jotting things down. If you hear from her, I know it's not your MO, can you let us know?
He does a little, yes, officer.
You also, the rest of your friends, you hang around with that new kid in town, the limey. right?
Woody, yeah.
Woody, that's what you call her, yeah. The Cobb Farm.
I call her Woody. Like, no one else has taken on the nickname yet, but I think it's a great nickname.
Okay. You go with that record keeper? Yes, fantastic. He basically looks at you and is like, just keep your nose clean, all right?
Oh,
And if you-
always.
Uh-huh,
Always.
yep.
You know me. You know me.
The problem is I do know you, Wayne. I know you all too. I guarantee you probably don't want me going upstairs today?
Do you need to? Have you got a warrant?
No, I don't. But, yeah. He sort of looks to you over a moment. It's like, seeing you around. And Record Keeper comes up. He's like, thank you for your Record Keeper! Cooperation, thank you. And the robot sort of judders out the door, like, almost like having to run after Patrick, who gets in his police car. You see him looking at your house for a second, and you see him chewing on something before he starts up the engine and drives off down the street. Not too far, because you actually live quite close to Laurie, but you see him drive, and if you ever sort of leave the house, you'll find his car parked outside the McCarthy house. Lucy, there are no knocks at your door. There are no police or security. You do sort of come into the morning to find your mother face down on the sofa, like sawing logs, like completely out cold. Is there anything you want to do with your morning?
It's the weekend, right? So there's no.
It is the
school.
weekend, baby.
So I'm gonna just get on my bike and do what Mum usually expects. Put a glass of water by her, like by wherever she's sleeping, with some out of date painkillers, probably.
You
And
hear a
that's okay. And go down to the arcade, probably.
Okay. Finn, you also wake up to find Toma in your living room. Like, you probably wake up a little bit later. He seems to have come from Susie's, come to yours, and he's having a long conversation with your dad. Your mum's busy sort of making breakfast and everything, and, you know, offering Toma a cup of tea. But as you come down, he's like, Finn!
Hi.
Hi. You good, kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. You look at your dad, and your dad has that same sort of, like, well, you may not see it, but he has that haunted look to him as well. He's sort of chewing on his fingernails, and he's very sort of like looking at Toma, as in, why the hell are you here? And he sort of like looks at you, sort of like, morning, son.
Can I help? What's up?
No, I think I have. I think I got everything I need earlier. Thank you, but he looks to see the drumsticks. He's like, you're practicing?
Oh yeah. I'm joining a band actually.
Oh, you are? Okay, okay. Good for you.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. You're friends with that McCarthy kid, right? Like Lorraine.
Laurie. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other trouble she got herself in recently? Like, obviously there was the whole thing at church. Anything else you know that she's done? You know, anything like that?
No. Why?
No reason, kid. Don't worry about it. Just curious about you and your friends.
Why is something?
Everything's good, kid. Don't worry about it. You just
Behind the eyes, I'm assuming someone's been eaten by a dinosaur.
You're picturing Laurie like, no, as like a T-Rex is like the lawyer in Jurassic Park, like, which it won't come out until like 92.
Yeah, no. I mean, we're good. What? Busy morning, busy night. There was busy night, officer.
Toma is like just the head of security, so he's not actually law enforcement, but he's like, officer, I like that, funny. He claps your dad on the shoulder, and your dad sort of at that point of like, no, me and your dad just having a chat about stuff that happened last night. So don't worry about it. You just
It was an impressive storm, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Never seen anything like that in my life.
And you probably won't again for another 10 years. Don't worry about it, kid.
Good?
Actually, you see him sort of think off on something. It's like, I should think about it. Maybe you won't. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
What does that mean?
Dad, I'm going out. I'm going to the. Yeah, I'm going to the. Yeah, see you later.
Yeah, you see your dad sort of like,
And as I walk out, I'll sort of do the whole. Bye, Mum.
You see your dad sort of come up for a second. He whispers something to Toma, who just sort of waves it away. But your dad comes up and he sort of like offers you like some allowance, and he just sort of stops for a second as he sort of handing it to you. He's like, I'm sorry. Okay. And he hands you the money.
You're forgiven?
And he sort of like, you see him sort of take that, like, okay. And he sort of straightens his hair out, probably has like straightens his suit out. And okay. You have a nice day, okay?
Yeah. You too. And I'll leave thinking that these adults are doing a terrible job at masking the invasion of prehistoric creatures.
Forrest. So you actually woken up a little bit earlier. The light has not yet, sun hasn't quite risen yet. But you see lights in the shed, in the sort of like your little area. Sort of like, you kind of recognize the, actually, before you say you recognize, give me a tech roll. Actually, investigate or tinker, or accept either of the two.
And I have tinker because I got numbers in it.
Yeah. So give me a tinker.
So I've got 4 in tech and 3 in tinker. So does that mean that many dice?
Which so it'll be either or. You basically, sorry, you're right. Tech and tinker merge them together. My bad.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Tech and tinker. So.
Sorry, wait, hang on. What's enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Yeah, 7 dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll it.
Way
Nice.
Only one.
Recognize the sort of the way the lights are as basically like the eyes of an ace robot, basically. So they have like searchlight modes, so they can basically like look in the dark. But basically, you know that there's a robot with like its lights on inside your den.
Okay. Can I? So it's still dark, and I know.
It's twilight, like early morning twilight.
Okay. Farm folk do get up rather early. Is this pre or post Grandpa RT wake up?
Your grandpa's probably already up and out in the cows, so he's in some of the other milking sheds. Like this is the storage shed where you have your den.
Okay, I will cease to do any kind of changing of clothes, even if I think Forrest wears like one of the long oldie timey nighty like situations. Just puts on the boots, doesn't even tie them up, and kind of calls for Butternut. Come on, Butternut, we need to or just go to the hayloft, quick.
Dog yaps after you and
absolutely pegs it to the hayloft.
So as you approach the hayloft, you can hear something sort of moving upstairs, like it's flittering through stuff, and you just hear the its metal feet on the floor, and you can hear muttering, which is odd for a robot. Sort of, there's like a muttering going on, and like a stammering as it tries to talk. Like, can't find it. What do you do?
Is it up the ladder or?
It's up the ladder in your den.
Oh. Interesting. Okay, Butternut, you keep an eye out behind me. I'm gonna go investigate the robot. And I think just like behind their back, just in case, like they have the hammer that's still in a pocket. Or maybe in the boot. Like slid into the boot. Gonna sneak up and
Give me a sneak, which is body and sneak.
Okay, body 5, sneak 0, so just 5. How do you clear the dice?
You can't.
Click on them.
Oh, you saw you move. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop.
Hey.
Yeah. So as you sort of sneak up and poke your head around, you see this robot. It appears to be sort of wearing like a robe. It's like almost like a maintenance robe, sort of like on it, but it's sort of like its eye is sort of flickering, but then stuttering as it tries to talk. Like, I can't find it, but it doesn't actually seem to be looking for anything. It's like just standing in the middle of the thing, looking around, like occasionally juddering and sort of like as its gear sort of grinds. But it basically just seems to be looking around the room, just confused. Is the best way to describe it.
Is there any like label on it, like big like number or name?
The label will probably be on the sort of the front, and it keeps turning around. You do see Unit 77.
Okay.
But it's given name, so every robot's given a name, but it's unit number 77. It hasn't got its given name on there. But eventually it starts like it sort of sinks to its knees and kind of puts its knees up to its chest and sort of sits there for in a very sort of like as it's sort of looking around like can't find it.
All right there, 77. Are you okay?
The robot leaps and like scampers to the corner. I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I think robots are proper cool, but my grandpa don't really like them. So if he finds you here, you're probably gonna be, thrown out by your ear.
It's just like it sort of like touches the side of its head, like looking for ears. I have sensors.
Thrown out by your sensors. Then I guess that's
sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's proper uncomfortable. You're looking for something. What's what would a robot be wanting in here? Is it?
I
just
don't know. I can't remember. All I know, all I see is I and it seems to just not be able to like formulate its words. It's like completely scrambled. And as you sort of approach, you notice that on its jacket has like a tag that's property of Bob and Frank's robot shop. And it kind of looks to you and is like, I'm Wagner.
Hello, Wagner. It's nice to meet you. We should probably try and get you some help or fixed. Do you want to go back to Bob and Frank's, or do you want?
Yes. I don't know how I left. I was there and then I was out. And then I was here.
Well, when I forget things, sometimes I write down like the things that I did before and then the things that I did after, and then I try and fill in the gaps with things that might work or might be like guesses. So maybe on our way over there, we can try and do that.
Okay, that sounds nice. Yes,
Let's sneak you out of here. Let's make sure Grandpa don't see you. Butternut, could you, Butternut, you're so cool. I love you so much. Good dog. Now, I give you an extra juicy bone from somewhere. Maybe you will find a dinosaur bone if Finn is right. And if you go, like, just make sure Grandpa Artie doesn't come back to the house anytime soon. Just kind of, send him out onto the fields, and then if you can meet me, because you're understanding all of this, Bernard, absolutely perfectly.
You can see Wagner like, I hate to break it to you, but animals do not understand. Dan.
Oh, Bernard's no simple dog. He's a genius. He knows how to count. Then we're gonna go to Bob and Frank's. Bob and Frank's.
The dog sort of looks there for a second, like scratches its ear, and then just sort of like runs off.
Perfect. He's got it. Come on, Wagner. Let's go. Maybe we'll put some like people clothes on you to try and like make sure that Grandpa Artie didn't.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go in the house real quick. And I need to change out of me dressing gown, and then we'll head to Bob and Frank's. Or
So-
maybe Lucy can help. I don't know. Maybe I'll give Lucy a call.
So as you sort of dress up and lead Wagner through back out the streets, you all eventually sort of congregate on the strip mall where the AV club happens at the Blockbuster. One of the shops is Bob and Frank's. It doesn't appear to be open yet. It's a bit run down, even though the place is like new. But sort of like you can look inside and there's numerous sort of robots sort of sitting there like being repaired. You know that sort of the Bob and Frank were like basically ran this bot shop, but Bob died recently, leaving Frankie by herself, and Frankie's been struggling recently, especially as Chief Pat's mother Agnes runs an up-to-date brand new bot shop, and somewhat has pulled a lot of the business across. But as you lot congregate, you find Forrest standing there with a robot in people's clothes, like a long trench coat, maybe a big sort of rain hat, but you can clearly see that it's a robot underneath, even with like a big pair of boots, and it again twitches and judders. Doesn't quite seem to be sort of functioning properly, as it sort of ends up sitting on the curb and just sort of like slumping slightly as its head twitches. What do you do?
Is everyone here?
I imagine everyone's here at this point, yes.
Lucy?
Yeah. Yes.
You got your tools and that with you. I don't think Bob and Frank. Well, is it just Frank's?
Just
now?
Frankie these days, yeah.
Just Frank's. I don't think they're open yet in this Wagner here. It seems to be in a bit of having
Hello.
some memory trouble.
I don't have any tools with me. We could go to the arcade and I can pick up some that I left there. I can try.
I believe in you, Lucy. You got this. Let's go.
As you enter the arcade, it's sort of already noisy at a very sort of early time. And behind the counter, Lucy, you know this person very well. Jessica Moore, her band name is Dazzler. She's an older girl with sort of bright green hair. And you know that she plays in a band with two of the workers of the Blockbusters just down the road, who Finn seems to have a great interest in as well.
Hi, Dad. Hi.
She sort of looks. She's like, hey, Lucy, Finn, hey. You still practicing?
Yeah.
She's sort of like, yeah. She looks at the robot like, oh god, what's this?
The school project, right? Everyone, school project.
Project.
Yeah.
Okay, so why the arcade?
I need to just get my tools that I leave.
Oh, yeah.
Back so we can try them.
She sort of gestures like the one of the like cabinets on the side, like I put them in there for safety. Don't worry about
Thank
it.
you. Go behind. Go and fetch them.
She looks at the robot and she sort of like reaches across, lifts up the hands, like, you're the one that keeps escaping, aren't you? Am I? And she's like, yeah, Frankie keeps talking about Wagner. That's it, Wagner. Yeah. Got out again? Yes. Is Frankie gonna have to replace the black door again? If that's how I escaped, probably. Yes. She's like, okay. As she picks up the phone, she's like, dials it, and then she's like, Frankie? Yeah, it's me, Dazzler, yeah. Yeah, it's Wagner. Yeah. And then she goes off having a conversation. It goes into that very classic, like, yeah, huh? Mm-hmm, yeah. Not many words shared, but for like the sake of TV, it's just literally yes. You retrieve your stuff, Lucy, from the cabinet. What does people want to do? You've got tools and a robot.
Where shall we go to tinker with said robot? Should we go back to AV Club, or is there anywhere else people know of?
Yeah, if the blockbuster's open, then we'll go in there.
Yeah, I mean, Tron just came out, so they're expecting to be busy. Blockbuster's like the biggest things on there, and the other band members, Rebecca with her bright blue hair, otherwise known just as Becca, and Garth, who is their drummer, and he's sort of very much like, whoa, like proper like long hair stoner, just like sitting there like, whoa, it's that Wagner dude, hey, and the robot's like, hello.
Just to clarify, when we say robot, are we talking like looks like a person robot or like gonk droid robot?
No, like person robot, like anthropomorphic robot.
Yeah.
Like think iRobot, the pre-updated ones.
Okay.
So
there's a part of Finn, like Finn's relatively nonplussed with like the robots and kind of technology and all that. Like it's not his thing, but like we're quite away from the farm. Like, so how did this robot kind of get out? Like, it seems to be happening relatively regularly. Wayne, if you were a robot, wouldn't you find it quite difficult to break out of places without people noticing?
No, because I'd be a cool robot.
Sure. But does he look like a cool robot to you?
No, of course not. Look at him.
Wagner, hunched slightly in this trench coat, it's just like slightly sort of too big for his hands, like as he's flap.
But like, robots are usually really good at knowing things, right?
Sure. What are you getting at?
Well, of all the places, if you broke out of wherever it is you lived and you couldn't remember where it was going, of all the places, why would you go to Forrest's farm?
I know. It's a good place to hide. Maybe he doesn't like it at the robot shop.
But he's a robot.
Doesn't mean he's gonna like it. I mean, I'm meant to be in school and I don't like it.
Yeah, but you're not like a teacher, are you?
It's like, no.
Oh, okay.
In the AV Club, I imagine there's like a couple of computers and things, and I'm sure you can jury rig one of them to connect to Wagner if you so desired. Lucy or Forrest, I mean, you can both sort of work together on this. A tinker check, please.
Okay.
As you pop open the back of Wagnar's head, you've got a couple of cables. It's like it's almost like a guitar amp, Dan. So you're like plugging things in.
So that'd be
You're watching this.
Tech and Tinker, right?
Tech and Tinker.
You want a space to roll?
Yeah, you can both roll if whatever you sort of like. First, you prep the other up.
What?
Okay.
Lucy's going to do the tech, and Forrest is going to ask if you've turned it off and on again.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh,
2 sixes.
Nice.
Aces. Yeah, with great sort of like you manage to get it plugged in. You actually get the monitor. It's a proper green screen monitor, so black and green, sort of like everything going down, and you see all the boot diagnostics coming up. So it's like Unit 77 Wagner dust mode active. And you see its normal subroutines. Because of this high roll, you're actually understanding the things like startup procedures, its post-tests. You see its daily tasks that it's trying to do, and then you start coming across like the memory options. There's like big blank gaps. But as it keeps going down and you keep going through the diagonal, suddenly sort of like more lines of text start coming up, but they don't seem to make sense. They're just a jumbling of lines. And it's kind of dizzying to look at because it becomes just like a visual cacophony of numbers and letters just randomly scrolling. And they scroll faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. It starts like the screen is just blurring out to the point it's almost going like solid green. And then images start to appear in the green. You see what looks like the back of someone's head as they're walking. And sort of like, again, the motion is following them. And as the person turns around, give me a... Everyone can give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Then,
Investigation.
Bam.
So Finn, yep, good.
it's a fun
Me
one
know
for
things.
me.
What? Lucien, Forrest, maybe
am
not so much.
Good at this.
Wayne, not so much. Susie, I'm surprised, but that's
Me
fine.
too. Yeah.
Finn, you sort of like squint your eyes, and as who else got it as well? Lucy, you both kind of squint your eyes, and it kind of looks like the librarian. As she sort of looks around for a second, and obviously there's no dialogue, but this like image of her sort of like looks panicked for a second, something like a robot fist come across. Suddenly that sort of image disappears, and instead in its place you see sort of like magical symbols, like pentagrams and that lot start flickering through it. And as those sort of images flicker faster and faster and faster and faster, you see the face of someone you don't recognize for a second, and almost you hear the words "boo" as suddenly the screen explodes outwards. This whole time Wagner, he's sort of like slowly flickering, his lights in his eyes have been flickering sort of on and off, like for a second. When that "boo" appears, they flash red, and then suddenly he slumps and as suddenly like Becca and Garth come running over a fire like put out the monitor, which as you sort of can Wagner at that point sort of, hello, I am Wagner.
Lucy, did I just watch the memories of this robot haymakering the back of the librarian in the head?
I think so.
Right. And we're not okay with this, right?
You sort of see like Garth and that lot like, well, dudes, what are you doing to the monitor, bro?
There's a look of utter distaste on my face as I look at this Garth character. Waste of space. And when you say pentagrams, like legit, like
magical symbols and runes and stuff you shouldn't be seeing on a TV screen in the robot's brain. In fact, you shouldn't have been seeing the memories of the robot on the screen. I think that's also a big thing. Like, most of this was stuff you don't see every day.
Wayne's excitedly getting his camcorder out, and he's like, "Get another monitor! I'm gonna record it this time. That was amazing. Do it again. That was awesome."
No. I don't think it'll work again.
you saw those like symbols and that, right?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know much about like computering and stuff, but like, that's not like normal computer stuff, right? That's weird.
No, that's very weird.
Like,
You said it was the librarian, Mona, the one who resigned yesterday all of a sudden.
yeah, it was the librarian.
What if she didn't actually resign?
like, I'll call for a group huddle.
Susie's the first one into it. Yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Before we talk about any of this, should we wait until Laurie turns up?
Well,
Has anyone heard from her? Like, I had the police officer around my house earlier on saying like she's run away.
Oh,
Like, Woody, is she not yours?
What? Is Laurie at yours in the hayloft?
No, she left, but she left like a bit late, I suppose. But no, she left on her own.
Wayne, head of Dart Security, was at my house asking me about Laurie too. But every time I asked what happened, they said she's fine. Has anyone spoken to her on the phone today?
no, I mean, did you see anything weird at her house when you came in, Wayne? Because you got like past her house and that, don't you?
Only just like the police around there, but that's pretty normal. And like, I didn't want to go up there because, like, you know, her dad hates me.
Okay, group huddle.
Copyright is sinful.
Group huddle. When I was coming back from Forest's last night, there was there was some sort of like crash. I guess like someone was being a bit too quick in the storm or something, and like lost control of the car and they like rolled it into a ditch. But it was weird because I saw the witch. You know, the Naomi, the witch down in the woods, and like, I don't know why she was there. She was just like watching, and I thought it was weird because, you know, Naomi's just a bit weird. But like, then we see like witch stuff on a robot. So like, did she bring the dinosaurs here?
Ben, you were the only one who saw dinosaurs.
What do you mean?
Like, no one else saw dinosaurs.
It's true, there were cities and weird things on monitors, but you're the only one who saw dinosaurs.
Okay, but I mean, I definitely saw dinosaurs, and I think that Naomi did, because like, there's just too much weirdness going on. I mean, you've cities, fine, whatever, but like, there's like witchy things. We saw that robot had like witch symbols in its brain.
You can see Wagner just ding, 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 ding.
While sort of going off on one, Wayne's gonna sort of part away from the group a little bit and go over to Becca, and he's gonna go, Becca, hey.
Hey, are you done putting us out of business yet?
Almost. Hey, you remember that bit in like Risky Business? You know, the one I got you the other day.
Yeah.
Like when Tom Cruise turns into a robot. That's a weird bit, isn't it?
Okay, what bit are you doing?
Wayne goes over and they goes, yeah, something weird's going on.
Did we watch the same film?
No, I've got the director's cut. Goes back over.
So what does it mean? What's happening? what did we just, Lucy? What did we just see? On like the robot. It's like memories aren't normal, right? Like robot do they dream?
Of electric sheep.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Lucy, like normally, like memories would just be text fundamentally. Like, you know, you don't see anything visually. It's usually just text based.
Yeah, the memories would either be like text or maybe like code based normally. This shouldn't have been the pictures at all. That's really weird. Like, we should have just been able to read a printout and a very set description of what it remembered. Not that.
Who? What's the robot doing?
It's just sitting there, just tapping its own head, just bink, 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 bink,
Should we-
bink.
I think we need to have an intervention with the robot and find out why it's sneaking up on librarians.
I mean, when I found it in the aloft, it was saying it was looking for something or that it couldn't find something. So he was up there looking for something, but I know everything that's in that aloft. And unless there was anything else been put there, like a dinosaur, then
Finn's already out the door.
then there ain't going to be anything new in there.
What? Wagner?
Wagner.
Wagner. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
You can see it. Like, I do not understand the question. I am needing repair.
So Forrest was just saying that you were looking for something up in the hayloft.
You can see it sort of like, yes.
Do you remember what it is you were looking for?
No.
Do you remember? Do you have an idea of when you might have lost whatever it was you're looking for? Because sometimes it helps to kind of figure out when you might have lost it.
Yes. Last night.
You left something there last night?
Last night.
Okay. But like night or like evening night or just after school night?
You see it sort of like, almost like it's having a headache. It sort of like reaches... Asked me to get something. Asked. And you see it sort of like stutter again, and suddenly just comes back up like...
I've taken two
Hello.
big steps back because I've just watched this thing haymaker an adult in the headline.
I am Wagner, Unit 77.
Okay. I will look to the others in case they wanna. I'll look to the boffins in case they've got an idea.
I mean, it's a bit like when my granddad got dementia, isn't it?
Wagner.
Yes.
I was just how are you doing?
I do not understand the question. I need repairs.
That's okay. We'll get you repairs. I was trying to remember. I was supposed to do something. Someone asked me to do the same task as you, but I can't remember who it was who asked me to do it.
He sort of like...
Who was it? Do you remember who you spoke to yesterday?
He sort of looks like really sort of like, even though he has no facial expression, you can see him again. It's like concentrating, like
Even
blonde.
Okay.
Blonde eyes,
Blonde eyes.
green eyes, blonde eyes, green.
Okay. I looked to the others as if ask, does that narrow it down in any way, shape, or form?
Would any of us know someone blonde with green eyes? Like Mona, for example.
No, Mona was like, classic librarian, a little bit of a bob. No, Laurie was dark hair, blue eyes.
Okay.
The only person who know with like blonde hair, blue eyes, Finn, you might know person because they work with your mother in the all-night diner. It is Teresa Brent, basically, otherwise known as Tessa. She works on the day shift with your mother. All you really know about her is her sister went missing like 20 years. Like, it's one of the things that people know. Her sister went missing ago. It's a kind of an urban legend in town. 10 years ago, a boy went missing. 20 years ago, a girl, like, and so on and so forth. But yeah, she's the only person you ever know with like blonde hair and sort of like greenish eyes.
I'll relay. I think I do know someone with blonde hair and green eyes. You know, someone that my mum works with over at the diner. Tessa. Yeah, she. Mum's always going on about how much she chatters too much.
Oh. Well, if she chats a lot, then she might talk to us.
Why would she? Why would a diner worker be messing around with a robot from Frankie's?
I mean, I don't think we're going to get an answer to that question from this lump. I say, just like nodding my head over to Wagner.
If Wagner could smile, he'd probably be sitting there smiling.
Should we be like proper James Bond spies, and follow this Tessa and see, maybe we could ask Wagner to go meet with Tessa and then spy on them from a distance, and see what happens. That's sneaky spy film, right? Or do you just want to go say hello and ask him questions?
As you sort of make this decision, you suddenly hear "Where the bloody hell is he? Where the bloody hell is he?" And you see an old woman sort of step through. It's like, there he is. As she sort of walks in, she sees the exploded monitor. It's like, to you as well?
I'm going to point at Wayne.
And Frankie, the old woman, rolls her eye. I don't know why it keeps happening to me as well. I've gone through monitors. And she picks up Wagner. It's like, hello, yeah, you're... I know. Where did you find him?
Oh, he was in the loft, just on the farm.
She looks at Wagner. What are you doing in a hayloft? And he's like, Well, thank you for bringing him here. And she looks at Becca and Garth. I'll pay for the monitor. She said, come on, Wagner, let's get you another diagnostic. Yes, diagnostic would be good. And he turns around and gives you this very juddery wave, as he sort of gets led away. And who put you in these clothes? And Wagner is led from the shop to next door where she opens up her own shop. And if you go to walk past, you'll just see him sitting there with a diagnostic station, just sort of looking around. Are you staying at the Blockbuster, or are you moving on?
What do people think?
Should we go to the diner?
Yeah, I think so.
As you leave...
Can I stand outside of Bob and Frank's for a bit and go, Butternut.
Butternut, if we flash to the farm, Butternut on a back, on the porch.
Doing an excellent job.
Yeah, in her dreams, she is running down down this street.
Who's that dog?
Everyone give me I think investigate. There isn't really
Many
a spot.
investigate.
Yes, investigate. So
Hey, I'm fine with that.
Hey, Wayne.
Whey.
Oh, nothing for me.
Susie
Oh, I got one.
Okay, so Wayne and Susie. Wayne, you're probably very good at sort of keeping an eye out for stuff as you're trying to sell your videotapes. Good for keeping an eye out for people watching you, in case you need to get out of Dodge. And Susie, again, you're very you're always hyper aware when anyone's sort of looking at, not your need for attention, but it's just you're very aware when someone's sort of observing you. the rest of you are completely clueless, but as you're leaving, as you look across the parking lot, sitting on the bench, you can see Naomi Hargreaves, the Witch of the Woods. And she's trying to sort of like be quite discreet, but as she sort of sees you suddenly noticing her looking, turning her attention elsewhere, and almost like looking like she's ready to excuse herself, as she sort of like stands up, grabs her like bag of stuff, like filled with like apples and fruits and things, and she sort of looks like she wants to make a quick getaway. What do you do?
Should we try and catch her? We should talk to her, right? She's involved in the weirdness.
Do you really want to be talking to a witch?
I do, and Susie starts running across the road towards her.
As
Naomi!
you see her stop, and she see like that thing people do when they sort of like obviously like upset that they've been sort of spotted and things, so she's like stops and breathes, and you see her also take a steadying breath before she turns around, and she's like, Susie, correct?
That's right. Hello.
The thing about like Naomi, she's quite homely. She's got this mass amount of like brown dreadlocks, and weirdly her blue eyes sparkle ever so slightly. There's almost like a glow to them, but it's not quite noticeable. But there's like this odd glow. She's like, you really shouldn't be talking to me. And she sees the rest of you coming over, and you notice she's starting to get a little like nervous. She's like, your parents wouldn't be happy if you speak to me. You should head off.
That's okay. We just have one question. What happened last night? You know about strange things, right? Everybody says that you know about all sorts of matters, strange and arcane. So last night we all saw strange things, and we wondered if you know anything.
You see her looking towards the shops, and she can see like Frankie just like tutting as she goes back into the shop, and she's like, yes, strange occurrences, strange things did happen. I'm sure you saw them all. And you can see she's like very sort of like, she's almost having a bit of like a nervous sort of like tick going on. She's like really like nervous to be around you.
Would it help if we talked in private somewhere?
No, I don't think that would help very much. It's just I'm not used to talking to people all that often, and to you particularly. I all of you particularly.
She's more used to talking to dinosaurs.
Finn, Lucy, maybe you should like draw the things that you saw from the robot, like the weird, spooky.
A city in the sky, dinosaurs, and an ecumopolis, machines acting like people. I'm sure those are all the things you saw, correct?
How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Normally,
She's a witch.
she sort of like shrugs her shoulders and sort of like, yeah, he's not. But she's like, it takes a certain level of imagination to still see these things. At a certain point, you just don't have that power anymore. Like, you'll notice that most people aren't concerned by the fact they saw an entire city planet or dinosaurs roaming the streets because they didn't see them. To cast magic, you need a certain sense of imagination. It's something I've never learned. So, I saw those things.
You saw them too.
He says, I did, yes.
Did you see what happened to Laurie?
She sort of like, for a second, you see her almost like have to swallow back something for a second. And she's like, Laurie is gone.
What?
Gone where?
Huh?
Somewhere.
What have you done with her?
Not me. Someone else. There's things that you don't understand about this town, things that have been happening for you. Things you see again trying to fight back this sort of feeling. Occasionally, every 10 years, something happens, and the barriers between worlds break. Last night they broke harder than they ever have before.
Dinosaur New York.
Potentially, that may have been one of. But every time it happens, it looks for something to swap. So this time it took Laurie. I don't know what it left, but the time before that, took another boy, and the time before that another boy, and I don't always know who leaves in its place, but she's not here anymore.
Oh.
She's elsewhere. Not like a popular YouTube series where the explorers of elsewhere. Not that elsewhere. Like and subscribe.
So
I'm
gone.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I tried to stop it. I did. I tried. I really tried.
Okay. Where?
What were you doing at the crash last night?
I tried to stop it. I tried to stop it. And I had to see it for my own eyes. It's where the site of my failure.
Where do the kids go?
You know those books by Tolkien, like fantasy worlds and things like that? It's kind of like that, I think.
Okay.
Filled with magic and adventure. Also
You-
danger.
Are you just saying that to make us feel better?
No? I don't know. You see again trying to fight back something. It's like, I can't tell you what kind of life she'll lead there, but you'll see her again. At some point. Maybe not how you expect, but you'll see her. I promise you that. That I can promise you. She's gone, but not forever. Time in that place works different.
Susie's just stunned. She doesn't know what to say at all. So...
Can we get to that place?
No.
You know how to get there, don't you, Naomi? You should tell us,
You-
and then
you-
we'll take our
you-
bikes.
See her when you say that. You see, like, it's almost like this almost visible reaction of repulsion as you say you can get there. I can't get there. Not.
Could we swap the thing back? Bring her back by sending back the thing that swapped with her?
Maybe? I don't know. But we need to find out. The next event is years from now. It happens every 10. I don't know if we can. I'm sorry, I just don't know. Also, all I can promise you is you'll see her again. I promise. And you see her sort of like. I'm so sorry.
If you're so sorry, you should help us get our friend back.
I will do what I can. I promise you
Then-
that.
Tell us
But-
where she went.
To another world. She was swallowed up by the event.
What is this event?
You see her look towards the three towers. Something came into this world. And they built an entire facility to test it. This thing comes from that place where Laurie has.
Mother was...
Every 10 years, it's built up so much power it can't control it. These are the events. The
Purge
purge.
events.
It opens up to numerous multiple dimensions, but its home is the one that's closest. City in the sky that you see. It's trying to go home, but it can't.
Multiple
And
dimension.
unfortunately, it tries to pull something here, and the rule of equivalent exchanges, something has to go back. And the only people who can see it are children,
And you.
because I have the eye. The eye for the arcane. If the arcane focus will see it.
I'm struggling to think whether Finn would think this is Tosh or not.
That's purely up to you.
Susie's thinking about Laurie and her comics and the fact that she's mentioned multiverses before. She doesn't read the comics herself, but she says, maybe Laurie's gone to one of those other universes she talks about.
How do we even begin? Where do we even start? What
Maybe you
Dark?
find the librarian.
we need?
Oh yeah. Do you know where Mona the librarian went, Naomi?
You see her, like, she just gives you a shake of the head. But not I don't know, more of a, that's not a line that you can...
Hopefully one of us have got something to draw on, but I want to quickly draw what we saw, Lucy and I saw in Wagner's memories. If you're a witch, do you know what these mean? And I appreciate I've probably not drawn them accurately in the slightest.
She grabs it and scrunches it up. It's like immediately sort of like scrunch it up, and so it looks around for a second, and as she opens her hand, it bursts into flames. Where did you see those? Where did you get those?
Sorry, we're just going to back up a second and just...
Yes, it's very shocking when it happens, but it's real. It's all real. Finn, where did you see those? Give me a comprehend.
Can we all do a comprehend or just Finn?
Yes, you can all do a comprehend.
Okay.
Nothing on Finn.
Je ne sais comprendre. No.
Susie, cool, excellent,
Yeah.
double success.
Yeah.
Lucinda,
Also
excellent.
success.
Yeah. Wayne, no. Forrest, no. So Susie and Lucretia, sorry, I keep calling you Lucinda. Lucretia, she asked your name. You didn't tell her the rest of your name, but she called Finn directly by name.
Ooh.
Mm,
Yes.
So she said, Finn, where did you get these?
Go on, tell her.
I mean, I'm goldfishing, but
Also, if anyone wants to basically trigger any other conditions to re-roll, they can.
Mm.
you know what? I'm going to... When we say conditions, like...
Upset, scared, exhausted, or injured. I don't think injured accounts. You can
go-
make yourself...
What? Again! I'm gonna induce some upset, because in this purely logical world of like weird hadron colliders and robots, magic is the line too far. So
So yeah,
Wait.
how does she know your name? You didn't.
well, I mean, I'll stop, I'll blink, and then I'll look up, I'll furrow my brow. And I've never spoken to you before. How do you know who we are?
You can see there's this look of like, damn it! And she looks to you, her blue eyes look to you, and a shock of big brown hair sort of like just gently blows in the breeze.
My eyes will open wide, because I think I've just had a horrendous idea.
Uh-oh.
You know us, don't you?
You see at that point her breath starts quivering. I promised you you'd see her again. I really did. Promise you'd see her again.
Oh, Laurie.
And you see at that point she's sort of like, oh my god, it's so happy to finally be able to talk to you about this. And she sort of like immediately throws her arms about you. She's like 32 years old at this point, but she sort of like hugs you.
No.
And she's like, it's
What happened to
Oh.
you, Laurie? You're so old.
She pushes you back. You piss off. She's like, I will explain all, I promise. But for now, we have to stop her from doing it again. and I'll explain on the way. I need you to come with me to Starling Woods, my home.
Let's go. Witch's hut.
Can you get
Follow.
my dog first?
She said, "You may." I can't wait to see Buttersquash again. And as she basically starts leaving, I think we'll call it there.
Hey! I'm glad you twigged, Dan, because I was not with that reveal at all.
I'm glad you re-rolled.
I think me and Julia had the realization at like almost the exact same time.
Elsewhere, deep down in the facility, something sits right in the middle of it. It's a corpse of some description, a desiccated corpse of something that is not human. Ears are pointed. It is far longer than any human should be. And nearby it, a woman with long blonde hair and glowing green eyes strokes its head as the body of Mona is removed from the... She looks down and it's like, my sweet, just a couple more experiments. Just a couple more and we'll be home. And a voice in her head is like, the other witch is interfering. I wouldn't worry about her for much longer. I'll sort her out. And as she sort of closes her eyes and they sort of flutter slightly, in Frank and Bob's robot shop, Wagner sits up, looks around, and his white eyes slowly turn red.
Murder robot!
Now we'll call it there! Ladies and gentlemen, we are returning to the year 2000 as it was. But thank you so much for watching. We will most likely be having some point because I quickly realized I'm going to be able and have all. So if you did enjoy this, like, comment, and subscribe. Everyone, if you want to, you can. If you don't, that's fine. Where can the people find you if they want to follow you and stuff? No one?
Well, you can find the vast majority of us on the Explorers of Elsewhere channel. We release content like we release D&D content, we release non-D&D content like this. We have live streams, we have shorts, we have Baldur's Gate co-op playthroughs, and that's releasing with an alarming frequency. So yes, if you want to see more stuff like this or other stuff, yeah, make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and the bell icon for notifications of when we upload new stuff. And you can find us on socials, just search Explorers of Elsewhere.
Yeah. Anyone else? Although I'll just say it then, that's fine.
Yeah, you can find me at Line the Order on Twitter. I'm not calling it X, I refuse to. I shitpost a lot, but I also put updates for the various TTRPGs that I'm designing there as well. With We Bleed Neon looking to release hopefully sometime in the next month, actually. All the text is mostly complete. I just need to get the art done.
Floor still open?
Yeah, obviously it was last month, but if you want to follow everything that Pride Caf, which is Pride Comic Art Festival, is doing, you can find us at www.pridecaf.co.uk or PrideCaf on all social medias. And my personal is NJ Adam Art, if you want to follow me on Instagram.
A very good follow, NJ Adam Art. Yes.
Floor open for a little bit longer. If not, I'll close it. All good?
All good.
Okay, you can follow me at Group Stormbear, that's GROOP Stormbear, or our sister social media sites at Tavern Between. That is both Twitter and Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for watching till the end. And until next time, I'm trying to think of a cool sign-off, but I can't. Something to do with the 80s. The 80s!
Thank you.
Bye!
Bye.